The year was 2483, and humanity had finally reached the edge of the Varelian expanse, a nebula so luminous it was called the Painted Sea. Its colors shimmered in every spectrum, sapphire rivers of ionized gas flowing between rose clouds, auroras that spanned light years. For most, it was a sight of beauty. For Commander Adrian Holt, it was a battlefield waiting to happen. The ISS Acheron, a deep space exploration vessel, drifted near the outer rim of the nebula. Officially, it was a research mission. Unofficially, Holt and his crew were under orders to make first contact, or destroy whatever they found. For 3 days, the crew monitored strange signals pulsing from within the nebula. They weren't random. The wavelengths carried rhythm, structure, language. "Same pulse pattern," said Lieutenant Aria Lin, the ship's linguist. "It's repeating every 23 seconds. Almost like a heartbeat." Holt leaned over her console. "You think it's artificial?" Aria hesitated. "No human tech I know of sends something so organic." The next moment, the ship's sensors screamed. A gravity spike erupted from the nebula's heart, and the Acheron was caught in its invisible hand. The stars stretched, light warped, and the ship was pulled forward, faster than any engine could drive. Then silence. When the crew regained control, they were no longer in known space. Before them floated a structure vast enough to blot out half the nebula's glow, a living city suspended in the void. Its architecture seemed grown rather than built, translucent towers like coral, bridges that pulsed with veins of light, and in the center, a palace shaped like a blooming flower. "By all that's holy," whispered Aria. "It's alive. I am the queen of the Varelians." They were hailed before they could speak. A voice, soft, layered, harmonic, filled the Acheron's bridge. "You have crossed the veil of thought. You stand before the heart mother of Varelia. You are seen, humans of soul." The air shimmered, and a figure appeared in the center of the bridge, a projection of something that might once have been humanoid. Her body was composed of light and shifting crystal, her eyes glowing pools of violet flame. Holt instinctively straightened. "This is Commander Holt of the interstellar ship Acheron. We come in peace." The being tilted her head, almost curiously. "Peace, a word we once knew. You may call me Seraphine, though in your tongue it loses its song." Her gaze swept across the crew, but when her eyes met Holt's, something changed, like a resonance deepened between them. "You have fire in you, human. The kind that burns even the void." Holt frowned. "And you're the one who pulled us here. Why?" Seraphine's form dimmed slightly. "Because we are dying. To the dying race." Seraphine explained. The Varelians were an ancient species, born from the fusion of organic life and photonic matter. They were the architects of entire star systems, shaping energy like sculptors. But centuries ago, they faced a cosmic virus, a sentient corruption that devoured light itself. They sealed themselves inside this living city, sustained by the heart, a massive biocrystal that fed on emotional resonance. But the heart was failing. Their kind had lost emotion long ago. Without it, their energy waned. "We watched you, human. Across centuries of signal and silence. You feel with a violence we cannot comprehend. Rage, sorrow, love. We need that fire." Holt felt the hair rise on his neck. "You want to use us as fuel." Seraphine's voice wavered. "Not fuel. Salvation. A union. A sharing of essence." Aria whispered. "Commander, this could be our extinction in disguise." But Holt saw something else. Something ancient and sad behind Seraphine's calm. "And what do we get in return?" he asked. "Understanding. Knowledge beyond death. A place among the stars eternal. 3. The connection. Holt agreed to a cautious exchange. He would interface with Seraphine's neural lattice, a psychic link between human and Varelian. The process required entering the heart chamber, a cathedral of living crystal, with walls that pulsed like veins beneath translucent skin. Seraphine stood before the heart, her form now more defined. She looked almost human, almost. "Do not resist," she said softly. "The heart will read what you are." When her hand touched his, light surged through Holt's body. His mind fractured and expanded simultaneously, memories from both sides spilling together. He saw her peoples rise and fall, their world of light-cradled oceans, their slow descent into silence. And she saw his memories, war, laughter, loss. She lingered on one, a memory of Elara, Holt's late wife, who had died of radiation poisoning years before. "She is beautiful," Seraphine whispered. "You carry her like a star inside your chest." Holt's voice shook. "And you carry an entire world inside yours." The heart pulsed faster. Data and emotion merged until the link threatened to consume them both. In that moment, Seraphine trembled, not from power, but from something raw and unfamiliar. "What is this ache?" she asked. "This trembling?" Holt answered quietly. "It's what we call love. For the awakening." After the connection, the Acheron systems registered impossible data bursts, Varelian technology rewriting its own code, healing. The city brightened, colors returning to its bioluminescent structures. The Varelians were reviving, but the cost became clear. Holt was weakening. His neural patterns were dissolving into Varelian frequencies. Arya confronted Seraphine. "You're killing him. He is becoming. The link must complete, or both will perish." Holt, half delirious, felt himself slipping between worlds. Through the link, he sensed Seraphine's turmoil. She was absorbing fragments of his humanity, grief, longing, tenderness, and it was changing her. "Adrian!" Her voice whispered inside his mind, softer now, no longer the voice of a god but of someone fragile. "How can I become yours, human? How can I feel as you do, without breaking?" His reply came with effort. "You already are breaking. That's what love does." The heart flared, and for a moment they were both everywhere. In her light city, in his dying ship, in the spaces between atoms. Seraphine wept light. Holt bled starlight from his eyes. And then silence. The choice. When Holt awoke, the Acheron floated free of the heart city. Arya was beside him, tears streaking her face. "You were gone for 3 days," she said. "We thought." "Seraphine?" he asked. Arya pointed out the viewport. The city still shone, but its core, its queen, was gone. In its place was a crystalline cocoon, drifting toward the nebula's center. "She used the last of heart to push us out." The crew debated what to do next. Holt gave no orders. His thoughts were filled with Seraphine's final words, echoing through his mind like a distant song. 6. Returned to the Painted Sea months later. The Acheron returned to the edge of the Varelian expanse. Holt was no longer the man he had been. Strange patterns of light traced his veins beneath the skin, faint and rhythmic like a second pulse. He dreamed in ultraviolet, saw memories that weren't his, Varelian skies, their temples of living glass, Seraphine's laughter like the chime of 1,000 bells. He asked for one last EVA, to step outside the ship and look upon the nebula alone. Arya watched him go, though she suspected he wouldn't return. 7. The reunion floating in the starlit dark. Holt raised his helmet's visor. The radiation should have killed him instantly, but it didn't. Instead, the nebula's light bent toward him, swirling around his form. A voice, soft, familiar, filled his mind once more. Adrian! Seraphine! His throat tightened. You're alive. Not as before. The heart dissolved, but its echo remained, in you. You carried me. Her light formed around him, coalescing into a shape of glass and starlight. Her eyes filled with warmth. Our kind is reborn within the nebula. They feel again. They live again because of you. He smiled faintly. And what about me? You are between worlds now. Human flesh cannot bear this light for long. But you can choose. Choose. Return to your people, live the rest of your mortal span. Or stay here and become one of us. Become mine. Holt looked back at the distant Acheron, shrinking against the nebula's glow. His life, his crew, his duty, all seemed so small compared to what pulsed before him. Infinite beauty, infinite loneliness, infinite possibility. He remembered Ilara's face, her final words. Promise me you'll find life again. He turned to Seraphine. Then teach me how to live in your light. 8. Becoming the transformation was neither death nor birth. It was translation. His atoms dissolved into photons. His thoughts expanding into lattice waves. He felt himself stretch across dimensions, touching the edges of stars. And within that vastness, Seraphine waited. Do you regret it? She asked. No, he answered. For the first time I understand. And what do you understand, my human? That love isn't bound by flesh or form. It's the gravity that holds all things together. She smiled, radiant as a sunrise. And for the first time since the Varelians' fall, their world sang again, a chorus of light reborn through human fire. 9. Epilogue. The Song of Two Suns. Decades later, human explorers returned to the Painted Sea. They found a star newly ignited at its center, where no star had been before. Its twin coronas, one gold, one violet, spun around each other in perfect harmony. The scientists called it a binary anomaly.